This is Lacey Rice of KYSports.tv with Kentucky State University head coach Josh Dean after a big thoroughbred win today over the Stillman College Tigers. Coach, you ended your season in a big way today. Your seniors went out on a high note. Um, how does this day feel to you?
I mean, it's definitely bittersweet because to see the guys playing so well and to know that it comes to an end, but at the same time, what better way to go out than on top? And it was great to see these guys perform at a high rate, and for to do it at home, to let the fans and their families see what the potential of this team is. And there's a lot of pieces coming back, but at the same time, I got a chance to praise the pieces that were here for the foundation as far as myself and this coaching staff. So it was a great day, a great win.
This was the first home win this year, and it was a very big win. Actually, I think, unless I stand corrected, was this your biggest margin of victory this year?
Yeah, I believe it was. We were just, I think we played a clean game for the most part. We had some penalties and some things that we could do without, but for the most part, offensive and defense, we played a clean game. The score, even though the margin showed a big margin, it was a little bit closer than it really was. And I think the biggest thing I take from it is finishing. We try to preach throughout the year, finish, finish, finish. There's a lot of games we were in it tight, but we didn't finish. And it was just good to see that the guys knew how to finish, defense knew how to close it out, offense knew how to take advantage of the situations, and we were successful. So we just move forward with that. And like I said, we take that hope to build on from a future team standpoint. But for this 2015 team, there won't be another. It's the last game, and hopefully they'll learn from this.
This game seemed to be the one game that pretty much all pieces came together. In fact, there were some games earlier in the season, such as like the Virginia State game, where you did not allow a single defensive point. They actually scored on two special team plays, and you ended up losing that one by I think 7 points. And then even the Central State University game, which was close on the scoreboard, but Central State also did not score a single defensive touchdown in that game. They scored theirs on special teams, but your special teams seemed to step it up today.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a enigma with our special teams because on one end we had the most punt blocks, and then on another end we given up punt blocks and big plays. So it was feast or famine. We shored up, and we put a lot of effort into these past few weeks of securing our special teams. We have a lot of guys on defense that are starters, and we don't have the depth that you would like to have. You get in situations like that where you have to play certain people in different positions where you wouldn't want to, but you have to. So it was one of those things where we were glad to see guys step up and take advantage of the opportunity given. And I think the return team did a really solid job. I think it was a questionable call. They called that return back, but it was good to see guys giving out that the effort was great today. And that's what all you ask for is guys to empty the tank. And I feel that we did that.
It seems like your defense plays better when the other team gets down by the goal line. Against Central State, you had a couple of strong goal line stances that actually helped you win the game. And then even today, it was a heavily penalized goal line stance where I stopped counting how many chances that Stillman had to get the ball in, but you guys kept them out the end zone. What do you contribute that to, the ability for those guys to dig down deep and stop the other team?
I think it's just the fact that we roll in maybe 12 to 13 guys, and it's just a level of expectation amongst themselves that we line up, you can't beat us, and that's how they felt. That's how they played. We get lined up. This is not how you're going to beat us. You might be able to beat us some ways, and ultimately when we look at it, if we break down the defense throughout the year, no team has just drove the ball against us. It's been big plays, and we're fortunate enough to negate those big plays this game. is you just can't line up and beat us, and I think that's been it the whole year. We just don't line up and you get 4 downs. You're just going to drive. That doesn't happen against us, and they know that. So it didn't matter. I mean, you would like to say that you don't want to give a team, I think it was 9 or 10 tries to get that opportunity, but that just shows you. We tell them we can't afford to give up touchdowns, and the way they handled that was series of plays where it was 10 plays and they won all 10. That was huge.
Right. The earlier in the season seemed like your offense had a lot of problems getting into any type of rhythm and actually moving the ball. I think if I recount early in the season, you didn't score any first half touchdowns. The last few games, it seems that your offense have really been getting first half touchdowns and everything else. What kind of changes did you make here late in the season so that you seem more in sync?
I think we ran the ball extremely better, and we went with the mindset that we'll run first, pass second. And in the past couple of years, that's how we've been. I think in the beginning of the year, you try to find out what pieces you have. Everything on paper looks really good, but you have to find out what the strengths are. And in that process, I believe, from Tuskegee on, we've had a better rhythm offensively as far as knowing what our identity is and what we want to do. And in doing so, it has opened the offense up. Us being able to run the ball from Tuskegee on has opened up the passing game. And it just made us a way better team. And it really starts with the quarterback, it starts with the line and the receiver and the running backs, where they have a feel of the offense and they understand. It's like a light bulb just went off their heads where everybody started to understand it. We simpled some things down, but you got a first-year quarterback. First-year coordinator. You have several players where they're freshmen or their first time starting. You have new transfers that coming in and starting for you, and you don't have a spring. So there's a learning curve, and eventually you hope like, hey, we'll pick it up. Hey, we'll pick it up. Hey, we'll pick it up. And then, it's a trust that comes with it too. And by the time we did that, then you had a situation where you look up and like, okay, we can do this. And I think the guys just had to see him because even though we scored 34, 35 points, offensively felt that they left 20 points out there. So, that's what you do. So instead of being a 35-7, 34-7, it should be 55-7. But, the fact that they see that and understand it, it means that you're developing and getting better.
Okay. One of your seniors, his season ended a couple weeks ago. Did the teammates make, like when University of Louisville won their national championship in basketball a couple years ago, one of the teammates had gotten hurt during the tournament, and everybody rallied together to make a big run towards that national championship. Did his teammates kind of do the same thing? Because it seemed like I said, from the Tuskegee game on, you played a whole lot better.
I think we were playing extremely well right before he got hurt. The Tuskegee game, I think we got down 14-0 quick. We scored 14 quick points back, and then on the ensuing kickoff, he broke his leg, Terrell Johnson, and I think that shook him a little bit because we went into a lull as a team and got down, and then we eventually got back again and made that game close. But I don't think I in respecting how we love Terrell Johnson, how we respond to him, I think it was just from a point where, let's just play. And I think the guys got to a point where they're like, we can play. And going against Tuskegee, the name of Tuskegee showed these guys, if we can do this against them, we can do this against anybody. And they expected, and it went from a different belief, and offensively, I think it was more on the offense because the defense has done a good job about being consistent with their play, but I think offensively, it was more pivotal to the offense Tuskegee was compared to everybody else because I think, the fact that they knew they could do that against Tuskegee, they go to lane, score quickly, and then, then we do it this week, score 10 points, and you play better as you go, but, I think it was just something about learning, and even the quarterback, he's a sophomore, and he probably has started maybe 10 games, if that, comparing last year and this year, combining these 2 years. So you have a young team, and you hope they learn from it, and next year will be smarter. So look forward to it.
Um, you have a new AD now. Your athletic administration changed pretty much in the middle of the season. Um, and your new athletic director, Dr. Head, is a former Kentucky State University head coach. Has he offered you any advice, any encouragement, or anything else according to his experience?
Yeah, he definitely has. I mean, for the most part, Coach Ed has been very helpful. Just with his wisdom and his experience. Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, for me, this is my third year, third AD, and we've had some changes. I believe the change in AD happened right before the season last year, and it happened. And it's difficult as you make through those changes, but it happens across America. So you just have to find a way to manage it and to work through it. And hopefully, we can get back to consistent ways where the structure works together, and we can and grow from it. We just, I think it just takes that foundation and that trust between everybody to get on the same page and make it work. And I have faith that it will get there.
Okay. Last night the basketball team played Division I Power in University of Kentucky in a scrimmage. And they do actually have a Division I team in a regular season with going to IUPUI to play. Do you foresee scheduling? I know you had a Division I opponent to start your season this year in the regular season. Do you foresee that trend continuing, trying to get other Division I teams to play you?
Definitely. I mean, since I've been here, we changed from the mindset of playing against teams that either below us or, lower end Division II teams playing up. And there's different philosophies on it. One is like you get the wins, and two is like you don't want to play that schedule. But when you play those games, one, you get the guarantees, and it helps boost your financial causes playing those teams. But two is the experience, getting guys to play against Division I talent. And you look at the teams in our conference. The most successful teams are the teams that play. You see Tuskegee always does it. You see Fort Valley does it once or twice. Miles always does it. Miles went 0-3, but I mean they're rolling now. So it's just about your philosophy as a coach and what you want. I believe that the best teaching tool is experience. So you play against better opponents. It teaches you some things. Now you have to be smart enough to teach against the bad habits of playing against someone that might be more talented to overcompensate. But as a coach, you have to make sure you teach that and learn from it. I think these guys now have a lot in their bank. The group that we have in, and this is going to be the first spring where we have these past couple of classes all together for spring. So now you're looking for a loaded spring with a bunch of guys that have had experience, and that's how you get better. Spring is pivotal to the fall, and when you bring in, we brought a lot of guys in this fall that weren't here in spring, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the cohesiveness, but we're getting there, and I think we're following that trend. We want to, to grow and expand our territory. But, it's just something I think is necessary as far as the growth of your program.
Okay. This year, and I haven't checked the standings in the last couple of weeks, but going into that Tuskegee game, you actually had one of the top defenses in the country. Unfortunately, in the SIAC, I think there were like three other defenses that was somehow above yours. I guess it probably shows the strength of defense in the SIAC this year. Is that something that you're going to try to build on for next year to strengthen it to maybe even be number one or at least in the top three?
I think I've always been taught in coaching that you want to make your strength, you want to improve your weaknesses, make your weaknesses a strong point, and your strengths just make them more solid. So I think defense, it's in the blood. It's it's the foundation of this program because the head coach is a defensive guy. I think my more focus going in the future is going to be in the offense to get them going because I think defensively, the stable is there, and there's some great defense in this conference, which makes it rough for the offenses in this conference. Because I'm sure if you look at the statistics, it'll probably be adverse. But it's just how you have to look at it. We'll definitely retool. We'll have guys. We'll be senior heavy next year in defense, just like we were this year. And we'll just lean on them with experience. But the good thing is our offense will have some juniors and seniors that will have a lot of experience to lean on, and I think that will be very beneficial going forward. So, iron sharpens iron, and we're going to get after it spring. There's no doubt about it. We're going to get after it now, and my mind is already shifting to recruiting in spring and getting that thing going.
Okay. Being that this was your senior's last game, are there any seniors you want to specifically talk about before we end?
I can name something about all of them. Jermaine Graham, recruiting him, being a transfer from Arkansas Pine Bluff, and who was out, and getting him and being a 3-year starter. Lydell Simon, seeing him as a redshirt freshman when I first got here as an assistant, turned into what he is, a 2-time All-Conference nominee. I see Eric Rawls. When I got here, he was they had him at safety, and he wasn't really playing, and suggested they move him to corner, and then look what happened with that. Shante Glass coached him at Fort Valley, and he came over here with me, and he's been a stalwart in our D line for the past couple of years. And offensively, you have Crazy Legs, who I think are Andre McCall, who I think has been he's pivotal to what this program as all athletics needs because he's a graduate, he's in grad school, and he has 2 knees, but he stayed and played with it for the love of the game, love the program. Woodmore, passionate leader, and great with his work ethic. Nate Allen, very emotional, passionate guy. Kobe Griffin, passionate guy, transfer from TCU. Kyle Jackson, good football player that came transfer from Central. Vaughn Kane, just a good all-around kid and does everything right and how it's supposed to be done. Terrell Johnson is someone that has been here in the athletic, given second opportunities and made the most of it. Nate Robinson, I tell you, I feel Nate Robinson is our defensive MVP because he brings it every day, all the time, all energy, and has become such a better football player since he's been here, just overall. I think I probably covered it all. I think I covered all those seniors in that group, but I tell you, all of them, I love them. I thank them all. They've done so much for this program on and off the field, and they can never be thanked enough for what they've done.
Okay. All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much for your time today, and good luck going forward, and hope everything goes well going into next season.
All right, thank you.